I do appreciate how all of you manage to be these like international individuals, you know? Like y'all care about things that are happening in the world, and you consume all this media that is not yours. You don't have to if you don't want to, right? Like I know that we're right there and we're very loud about it, but if you wanted to put the Sony XM4s on, you could, you know? But y'all keep up with your politics and our politics. We don't even do that. It's pretty wild. Like I'm sure y'all have seen Mitch McConnell freezing up. If you don't know who Mitch McConnell is, he is the leader of the Republican Party in the States. He's the full-time leader of the Republicans in the Senate, and he's a part-time mime. And I know you're wondering, you're like, how is this happening? We're wondering the same thing. How is this happening? How is this? This is crazy. He's not by himself. Biden's hella old. Trump is hella old. You know, Dianne Feinstein's hella old. We just keep letting older and older people stay in power, and we don't even really know why. I think that mainly there's something to be said for like how fearful Americans are. And so if there's anyone that can offer us any form of stability, we'll take it from them, you know? And that's what you get. You get people who serve 19 terms and everything. Came in. The fact that this man froze while they were asking if he was going to run for re-election, I think that was God answering for him. That's crazy. If you didn't see the video, basically they're like, would you be running for re-election? And then he went, huh. He looked, for a split second, he looked just like Jim from The Office. He was like... And then his aide walked up and they were like, did you hear him? It's like, hearing's not the problem, ma'am. You know? And there are some people that are like, oh, leave him alone. He's an old man. It's like, all right, well, just because you're old doesn't... Being old isn't a virtue. He was shitty all the way up until then, so... Do you know what I mean? And look, I hope... How do I word this? I hope he's able to maintain his health as well as the first responders from 9/11 that he voted against funding are able to maintain theirs. You know, like, I think that it's weird. It's an odd thing. It's every time he freezes, he looks like he looks like he's seeing. It looks like he's seeing all the black people he ever tried to stop from voting. Like it's like they're just in the room with him. He's like, huh. That is a lot. Now, I know you're wondering, how did this happen? How did we get here? How do we end up staying here? Because he's not the only one. I'm not even picking on Republicans, really. There's old Democrats. There's Democrats that you're like, how is this the person? Surely someone else believes what they believe and is like able. Do you know what I mean? Surely, right? And I don't think that the U.S. is just a fearful country. I think that we have this reputation. They talk about how baseball is the great American pastime, but it's not. It isn't. The great American pastime is arguing. We love to argue so much, a lot of people want a redo of the Civil War. Like, that's how much we love to argue. And it's not about the candidate. There's nothing so special about McConnell. There's nothing so special about Biden or Trump that they keep being in the position that they're in. It's that we like to argue so much that we do not pay attention until it's too late, right? It doesn't matter, Biden, Trump, whatever. Throw all that stuff out there. You could put one party's candidate as a tomato and one party's candidate as a potato, and we'll still have it out. As dumb as that is, we would still be like, well, I do like potatoes, though. You know? But we don't know. We're very unsure as a group of people, you know? You watch I'm sure it's terrifying for y'all, because y'all are so close. Like this, you as Canadians must feel how I felt when I lived next door to a drug dealer. Had nothing to do with me. It was none of my business. But I don't know. You'd hear stuff through the wall, and you're like, am I in danger? Like, you even watch from afar the shootings that we have, school shootings that we have. And it's genuinely terrifying. It's terrifying for us, you know? And so many of them happen that there's no keeping up. Like, just within, a week of each other, there was a shooting, there was a hate crime, and then there was a shooting at a school. And you wonder, like, how is this sustainable? Is it possible for it to be sustainable? You know? You take a country that has this much crippling student loan debt, and you carpet bomb it with a bunch of school shootings. It's no wonder we don't like to read. Shit feels dangerous. That's my thing. It's like, I think it's going to change how future generations even talk about school, because there's just so many. It's not this like uncommon occurrence. And like, they don't all make international news because, thank God, not 13 kids aren't dying every time, but it's, it is happening. It makes me wonder if 30 years from now, there's going to be a kid who turns to another kid. It's like, hey, him over there, he cold-blooded. Got ice in his veins. You're like, what? Him? Yeah, him. What'd he do? It's like, he got a PhD. He went to school every day. He doesn't give a fuck. I mean, I've been trying to make more friends. This is the thing. When you are young and have a lot of friends, you think that you're good at making friends. But there's a chance that you're not. There's a chance that these friends are just from convenience and proximity, right? Because then when you get older, when you become an adult, you see how hard it is to make friends, you know? It's hard, whether you're trying to date someone or make a friend, it's incredibly difficult to walk up to someone and make something out of thin air. Because that's what you're doing when you're building relationships. And we're not always receptive to it, you know? We think that we're good at making friends. We think we want more friends, but sometimes it's not the day. I got too much on my mind. Or don't talk to me here. Or it's impossible to know. Huh? Like if somebody rolled up to you right now like, damn, man, I like your glasses. I like your hat. What you doing later? You'd be like, get the fuck away from me. I don't know if it's drugs you taking or drugs you need to be taking, but get away from me. I've been trying to make friends. I've been trying to make friends at the gym. Because that way I'll have a spotter. So I won't gym alone. If you don't know what a spotter is a friend who lets you believe in yourself too much. You go to the gym together and you're like, I think I could push 300. And he's like, we'll see. So I did it. I made a friend at the gym. I was working out and I saw this guy and he basically was on the machine that I needed. So I was sort of waiting around. And have you ever met someone? Have you ever met someone that has been to so much jail? They've been to so much jail that they are from jail. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you might be from Toronto, right? You might be from Vancouver. This man was from jail, okay? And you know he was from jail because he was like working out and he was barking in between reps. Like he was like, arr, 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 arr. I was like, okay. And he noticed me sort of lurking around, waiting for him to be done on the machine. And he saw me. He was like, you trying to get on this one? I was like, oh, maybe. If that's okay with you. And he's like, let's take turns. I'm like, okay, cool. And so we did. We took turns, and I did my little like, and he did his like, arr, 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 arr. You know what I mean? And then for whatever reason, we just kept working out together. I was like, what workout are you doing? And he told me. And so we took turns for the rest of the time that we were at the gym, and we decided to be gym buddies. And I appreciate this about him. I really do appreciate this, that he did this, that he said this to me, you know, because we exchanged numbers and everything. And before I was about to leave, he was like, look, I got something to tell you. I was like, oh, what is it? And he was like, I did a little time. Have you ever had someone tell you something that they thought was a secret? But was so painfully obvious, you had to act surprised to not feel rude. So then he said, I do a little time. I was like, oh, time where? Time like abroad? And he was like, no, the pen. And I was like, oh, yep, fair enough. Okay, I got you. And so we decided to be workout buddies. And next time that we're supposed to meet up, I was late because I got off work late. So now I was heading there. And I'm excited to see my new friend, my new gym buddy, my new spotter. And as soon as I see him, I'm thinking he's going to have a smile on his face, too. This man is pissed, right? I walk up. He's like, where the fuck was you? Okay? I already started working out. I already did chest, already did back, already did stomachs. I was like, do you mean abs? And he's like, that's what I said, nigga, stomachs. I was like, yep, you're right. Apples and oranges. Fair enough. So, you know, we started working out, and it occurred to me that, like, if I really want a friend, the other thing that we do that stops people from being close to us is we, like, have little departments and categories for every friend. And sometimes we try to keep them there. Specifically, oh, I want you there. This is as far as I want the friendship to go. And then we wonder why we don't have anybody close to us. Because we didn't give at least everyone the chance to maybe be that close person to us. So I was like, if I'm going to be friends with this dude, I got to be his real friend, not just a gym buddy, his real friend, right? Because this is just a personal thing. I'm not trying to put this on anybody, but I genuinely believe that if someone does a crime and they go to jail and then they get out, it should be done. They paid their debt, and now it's time to move on, or else what re-ingratiates them back into society? Why change at all? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do my best to like be his real friend. So I invited him to brunch. And Saturday comes, right? And he shows up to the brunch spot that I picked out, that I told him to come to, with the biggest brown bag I've ever seen in my entire... I didn't even know they made brown bags this big. It was a brown bag, might as well have been a garbage bag. This was crazy big, and it had a huge Tupperware of lasagna in it. And I was like, oh, why did you bring that? And he's like, it's brunch, isn't it? I was like, yep. But that's why we're here at the brunch restaurant. Like, you didn't have to bring any brunch with you because all the brunch is inside. I didn't know. And he's like, that's not what you said. I'm like, I understand. I didn't tell you not to bring anything. That's my bad. I didn't realize I needed to say, don't bring, all the brunch will be inside when we get there. And he's like, but it's brunch. And I was like, oh, yeah, you keep saying that, and I don't know what you mean. He's like, it's brunch. I brought my lunch. And I was like, oh, this dude went to jail before brunch was invented. Okay. Cool. But my man loves $13 mimosas. I know because I was paying. After he finished one, he's like, let's get another one. I was like, well, let's implies both, but yeah, whatever. Okay. But it's great. It's a great friendship to have because honestly, this dude, I can't say this like as a blanket statement, but I will say, if it's possible, you know, one of the things I think that makes society better and would help in re-ingratiating these people back into society is if everybody had a friend who had been to jail. Because I will say this, a friend who's been to jail knows exactly when to leave a party. I went to a party this dude invited me to. I'm there for 12 minutes. And he's like, we need to get out of here. And I was like, oh, okay. And the next day I saw that party on the news. I was like, wow, he could smell it coming.
In all the years he's been on the show, Maury has never fucked up a black name. Think about that shit. Over 20 years on the air, Dontwavius, says it like it's nothing. I'll mess up the name in my head. I'll be like, that's not even a word. That can't be a name. Maury will just sit there unfazed. They'll put the baby on the screen. You know, like, the show been on long enough that now, even in our DNA, we know we shouldn't be on Maury. So even the baby look embarrassed to be on Maury. Like, even the baby, like, it's not my fault. And I'll see the screen below the name, and I'll be like, is that a 2 in that nigga's name? And then Maury, without even missing a beat, will like, when it comes to the case of 6-month-old Twain, I'm like, wow! He said it with his full chest. No ums, no uhs. Wow. Have y'all used Threads yet? Okay, a couple woos. All right. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It seems okay. You know what I mean? It seems like what the old internet used to be. You remember that old, like, AOL text? type. That's what it feels like. I just can't wait for Threads to become a dating app. Because that's what happens. Like, men are too horny and nasty not to turn everything into a dating app eventually. Anything with DMs becomes a dating app almost instantaneously. It's crazy. Men will turn Uber Eats into a dating app. We'll be like, we'll get the pizza delivered and be, if she cute, you like, I got a whole pizza if you want to hang out for a little while. Like, dudes turned the phone into a dating app before dating apps. A lot of people don't know about it. So, in March 7th of 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was given the patent for the telephone. But they don't put it in the history books that on March 8th of 1876 was the first time somebody made a phone call and was like, what the fuck you wearing, bitch? What color are those pantaloons? Oh, they're beige? Oh, you little trollop. Yeah, what color? I don't know. Whenever Tupac was murdered, it really was like Black Elvis. Like, we couldn't accept it. We were like, no, he went to Cuba because they was looking for him. Not likely, all right. But we never did that with Biggie. You notice that? Tupac and Biggie got shot within months of each other. And Tupac were like, no, he gonna come back one day. And Biggie, we were like, yeah, that checks out. That's wild. I can't help but think it's because Biggie was heavy. I think deep down we know if it wasn't the bullets, it would have been butter. You know what I mean? Like, Biggie was not long for this. It was going to be the streets or the kitchen. One of them was coming for Biggie. You know? Just popped in my head this week. Sometimes you just have memories of when you were little for no reason. I've been thinking about my life and thinking about growing up and stuff, and I just had this thing. From when I was a little kid, I went to the grocery store with my grandma, and this was not a good grocery store. We didn't have it like that, so it was a discount grocery store, and it was pretty bad. Like, it was one of the ones where you go in and the meat is $3, but then when you ask what type of meat it is, the butcher be like, why are you asking all these questions, dog? Like, just take it or don't take it. And I don't know how to describe it, but there's a weird thing that when you're in a bad situation, but you're used to it, just feels normal, you know? And so I was hanging out with my grandma, we were walking, she was putting stuff in the cart and everything, and then we heard an argument that turned into a fight on the other aisle, right? And it's loud, and they're knocking stuff over off the shelves and stuff, and they're screaming at each other, and one of them's like, you don't get out my face, I'll shoot you. Yeah, like, nothing you want to be a part of. And I saw my grandma turning down to go down that aisle, and I'm 6 years old, but I'm like, Grandma, do we really need to... And she like, I need the bread. They not fighting me, all right? And the night before I went to the grocery store with my grandma, I was at home, and I was watching TV. And because we didn't have a ton of money growing up, cable was a luxury. And it was a luxury that my mom had to time. Because she wanted to give me what other kids had, but she just knew she couldn't really give it to me all the time. So we had to plan cable. So my mom... we would have it for 3 months, not have it for 6, you know. My mom would sit me down and be like, all right, so you gonna see the beginning of the season of Friends. But you're gonna have to find out about Ross and Rachel from word of mouth, all right? And so I remember this night was special because everyone had gone to bed without sending me to bed. So I'm 6 years old, and I'm just up late. Everybody's asleep. I got control of the remote. This is crazy. I'm about to watch whatever comes on late. This is wild. So I was flipping channels and stuff, and in my head, I'm like, if I don't keep it too loud, nobody will even notice. I can watch whatever I want. This is amazing. And when you're little, you're just excited for it to be late because you just never experienced late before. Like I was just running around like 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., right? So I remember I was flipping channels and I landed on Night of the Living Dead. And I watched Night of the Living Dead at 6 years old, which is far too young for me because I don't even know about real life yet. So I don't know if this stuff can happen or not. Side note, I found out years later, back in the day when they were making horror movies, like the early horror movies, their prosthetics weren't that good. So if you got hired to be a zombie, you were just ugly. Like that's... There's a little history tidbit for you. Anyway, I'm watching it, and it's terrifying. This is crazy. I was like, this is a bad idea. I can see why they sent me to bed. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. This is crazy. So I went to bed, and then, next day, wake up, go with my grandma to the grocery store, and as she's about to turn the aisle, we hear like a scream and a big, loud thud, and then silence. And I was like, Grandma, are you sure that we want to turn this corner? Because he said I'm going to shoot anybody in my face, and if we turn the corner, we're going to be in his face. What if he misses the person he aiming at? He's like, boy, come on. And so then what we would find out later, what was actually happening, was there was a fight between two dudes in wheelchairs. That's why it was such a ruckus and everything was getting knocked over, because they get knocked over, they got to roll back up. Punch. And so the thud that we heard was the finishing move from the first guy, because what he did, they had been scuffling and knocking stuff over with their chairs and everything, and then finally he just grabbed that dude by the collar and threw him out his chair. And so when we turn the corner, all we see is just a bunch of bread and rice on the ground. That dude done rolled off already. And so the only thing that I see coming at me is a dude with no legs crawling like this. So I'm like, my grandma would grab me and pull me to the other aisle. She was like, boy, what is wrong with you? That is an amputee. You need to have some damn compassion. And I told her, I was like, Grandma, I don't know what an amputee is, but that nigga is a zombie, all right? I do wonder... And this is a genuine question. I'm being sincere. This isn't like, I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. Does anyone here believe in aliens? Yeah. Okay. So, this is my thing. I believed in aliens so hard when I was little. Like, when I was a little kid, I was like, it's just us in the whole universe? Come on, really? Just us. A whole universe. That seems wild, right? And then as I get older, it's becoming harder for me to believe in aliens, because especially after everything up until 2023, it's hard to believe in aliens because Trump didn't mention it while he was president. Like that man told every secret. Anything they told him, he told us in an hour. Like they would be in the room with this man and be like, "You're not gonna tell anybody, right?" And he's like, "No." And then he leaves and he's like, "Folks," like that was. He could not keep a secret at all. He had the leakiest White House of all time. And he never mentioned aliens, so now I'm like, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. It's a tough one. For the people who believe in aliens, once again, I'm being sincere, I wonder if aliens haven't made broad daylight, obvious contact with us because they think we're boring, or because they've seen how we treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was an alien above Earth looking down all this time, I'd be like, oof, they don't even like when you have different skin. And I got 3 dicks, so they don't kill me immediately, just out of jealousy if nothing else. God damn. Might as well stay up here where it's safe. Ooh. I feel this is a weird thing. I respect that people have to be like choosy when they're dating, and sometimes you have to make choices based off, like you get a little inkling of a thing and you call it a red flag, or because you're like, I know how it's gonna go after that. And sometimes people are overly harsh about that, but it's necessary, you know? Like I think about my friend, I went to a club with my buddy, and he had a full, like, almost rom-com experience. He saw this woman across the club, truly across the club. He was like, the light was just shining on her a little extra, you know? So then my man made his way over, and it was almost like the dance floor was parting as he was walking over to her. And then he gets up to her, he lays his thickest game on that he has. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, mind if I buy you a drink or something? And she turns around and looks him up and down and goes, no. Nah, that's not what we doing. And he tries one more time. He's like, why can't I buy you a drink? Get to know you. We might like each other. And she looks him up and down again, and she goes, your shoes. Which I know, it sounds super vapid. That's wild. It sounds really materialistic, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm on her side. Because when he looked down, both his shoes were untied. And it's like, yeah, bro, how did you... There's no better way to walk up to a woman and be like, you have to take care of me eventually, than to have both your shoes untied when you approach the conversation. How'd you even make it over without tripping? It's crazy. Dude, one shoe could happen to anybody. Both shoes hasn't happened since the 3rd grade, all right? If you approach a woman with both your shoes untied, you might as well walk up with a glass of milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. Talking about, you want to be friends? Because that's what the fuck you look like with both your shoes untied. It's insane. I was watching a movie this week. Have you heard of Downfall? Anybody? Okay. It's a German movie, and it's about the last 10, 12 days of like Hitler and the Third Reich. It was like when they were losing the war, and it's from the account of the secretary that was in the bunker, of just like, you know, Hitler was freaking out and everything. And it got me to thinking, like, how do you contend with the idea that there's a higher power while watching all of the horrible stuff that happened around the world in World War II? It's like the worst atrocities against humanity happen, but also there's supposed to be this higher power that's fully in control and everything. And people talk about if they could go back in time, they'd kill baby Hitler and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, yeah. But if I was God, I think I would have just given Hitler a real high voice. Ain't nobody following him then. If that dude rock up and be like, listen to me! There's something happening in the fatherland that must be stopped. I don't even think you let that dude work fast food. You'd be like, nah, that voice too annoying. He's like, listen to me about the Jews. It's like, no. I worry about family. I worry about my cousin because he an idiot. He is. My cousin is wild. So my cousin joined a cult, right? I know, which is a big deal for that cult because they don't get a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like they were so excited to have a black friend. That was crazy. They were like, and I remember somebody told me to join the cult, and so I went ahead and looked it up, you know, because I'm worried about my cousin. I want him to be all right. I look it up. And I could tell he was in danger because the website was trash. It was like, I was like, Comic Sans, he is in danger, all right? This is terrible. They really crazy out here. That's wild. Broken link, 404 not found. Oh, Lord. They might already did it, okay. And so, basically, I went ahead and was talking to him. In my mind, the best thing to do was just go ahead and go to one of his meetings with him. Because the thing that cults do is that they create a shared language and a shared experience that no one outside the cult can actually understand or participate in unless they're in it. So then when you tell your friends and family about it, they look at you skeptical. They just don't understand because they weren't there, right? But if they come there with you, like if I show up with him and hear the dude preaching and just turn to him like, nigga, like, that might break it. And so I went there, and it was this weird house and everything. And I sat down, and including me in the room, the whole cult congregation was 4 people. And I was like, this is not a cult at all. Y'all just 2 idiots doing a guy favors. This is not, your cult can't even move a pool table. What are you doing?
I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, before the pandemic, they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman on like the 20 or something. I don't even remember what bill it was. And it was like, everyone had an opinion immediately. There were people who thought it was great. There were people who didn't care, a little bit, and then it turned out they cared. And then there were people that were like, no, we can't have this happen. And then Mnuchin said he'd block it, and he did, so it never happened. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I need Harriet on the 20. What bothers me the most is how has Harriet Tubman not had her own sneaker yet? Like, that seems... Yeah, I mean, think about it. Who is more deserving of a sneaker deal throughout all the history of America than Harriet Tubman? Come on. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, she was the LeBron of escaped slaves, okay? She was putting up numbers. She got a lot of the people to freedom. Buckets. That would have been a motherfucker to be a slave owner while Harriet was around. You come outside, ain't nobody there. You're like... The commercial writes itself. It does. I just beat the Golden State Warriors in my new Adidas Maxes. And it's like, oh, I ran to freedom. How about that? How do you beat that shoe? You don't.
I love visiting my white friends because they always got new pets. They always got new pets they think are normal. Because, like, we all read fairy tales and stuff. We were little. We all watched the Jungle Book. I don't know what was happening. I was raised by black people, so I have no idea what was happening in white households. But I feel like there were extra chapters in those books because white people really out here thinking every animal is their friend. Like, that's... Dude, white communion with nature is, like, almost upsetting. It's like... And I went over to my buddy's house, and something hit me in my face, like, real hard. And I thought it was a garbage bag, right? And I was like, it's not even air conditioning here for a garbage bag to be floating around. So I was like... And it was loud, too. Like, it hit me, like... And then I turned around, I was like, what was that? He's like... Oh, I forgot to tell you, I got a bat. You got a what? He's like, no, I got a bat. I'm like, where? What? What the fuck? You live in a studio, you have a bat? Where's it even sleep? And he's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. He answered me like I was being unreasonable. He's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. That's insane. It really is. I got another buddy. He got his dog. This is the oldest dog I've ever seen in my life. This dog, 22. It's so old. You know how when dogs get old enough, their bark change? This dog bark like, bark. It's half scream, half bark. The dog is so old, it got human problems. So we take the dog to the vet and be like, oh yeah, his psoriasis acting up. God damn. What the fuck does that happen? And then the vet like, yeah, he's got a little bit of dementia. I'm like, dementia? This dog gonna be meowing in 3 days. That's crazy as hell. That dog went, bark, bark, meow. It's crazy too because because his back legs, he didn't even have an accident. His back legs just done being legs. Like his back legs are like, bro, we 22. Like we are 6,000 in dog years. It's done. And so then they got him the wheelchair for dogs. You know what I mean? But then he don't really know how to use it, so he adjusts it. But now he can finally like really run again because it's wheel powered now. And so now he be running, but then can't fully control where he going. So then he'll be turning, and the shit look like Tokyo Drift. It's the dopest. It's the dopest shit I've ever seen because the dog will get excited and start running, and they're like, no, that's fair. It's just crazy because like when you okay, this is where you won't like me anymore. At least with dogs, there's like that could be your best friend, but you can see, oh, okay, they don't have a quality of life. It's not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them to the vet and put them down and everything. And nobody wants to do that. It's a horrible thing. Like, I've had to do it for a pup before, and it's very sad. But it is like, I think it should go the other way. Because every man in here got a boy where you like, he don't have no quality of life. Steve life in shambles, all right? Sheila left him, she not coming back. She happier now that she don't have him. So I think I got to put my boy down. You take Steve to Disneyland and you just having a great day. You like, all right. I know.
We caught you. I'll be vulnerable for a second. I thought I had it all figured out, I was sexting. And sexting's a very precarious situation. You want to make sure you're sexting at the right time, Because if it's like 8 o'clock, you still got other people texting you, You don't want to accidentally send a text that's incoming to somebody because you opened the thing, And it's also like, what if you're not that skilled? Like, what if I'm not good texting with just my left hand? Now you texting typos and stuff. It's knocking the sexy right out of your sexting. It's like, I'm gonna fud your bass. It's like, nobody's into it now. So I had an idea. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I had never heard anybody doing this, but in my mind, it was the best thing to do. I was like, I'm just gonna speak to text. So that way, I don't gotta worry about the other hand and everything, and I can just like get in the zone and stuff. I don't have to worry about other people texting me and everything. And it went horribly wrong. Because I wasn't at home. I was at my childhood home. So I was in my room, but it wasn't my house, And it was, 9 o'clock or so, and we were sexted. Look, I'll read you the thing right now. Okay. All right. So she's like, oh, okay. And what would you do if you were here right now? And then I was like, girl, I would tear those clothes off. And Mom, what are you doing in here? Mom, I had the door closed. You can't just open the door. I was just coming to see if you wanted dinner. No, I'm okay. Mom, get out right now. Boy, how you gonna tell me to get out somewhere in my house? sorry, Mom, please, can you please leave and close the door? You know we don't have closed doors in this house. Which is true. That's a very like black family thing of like you not closing the door in my house. What you up to in there? I was like, Mama, please leave. Please, please leave. And she was like, all right, what's the big deal? I was like, nothing, Mom. Just please, please get out of here. So anyway, girl, I would say... All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.
Josh Johnson! Oh, that's so funny.
Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I don't know. Yeah, maybe y'all saw. Maybe you didn't see. Maybe I mean, people can only watch so much news, you know. But y'all saw the president at the UN. This is. I didn't see everything as it was happening. I heard about some stuff later, right? So then I got a text message from my friend. They were like, oh, did you see what happened at the UN? I'm like, no, I didn't see what happened at the UN. And they explained to me that, you know, he was getting on Escalator and then the Escalator stopped. Now, I thought at the time, I thought it was going very differently. I thought the Escalator stopped on like a down escalator. That would have been a big deal. Imagine you on Escalator. You have belief. You get on a down escalator, you're like, all right, it's gonna take me where I need to go. No need for a seatbelt. If that thing just stops, the momentum, whoa! Now the president's falling down the steps, so I thought that's what happened. Then I watched the video and I saw that he just walked up to the escalator, stepped on the escalator, and the escalator broke. And you saw him stand at the bottom of the escalator like, what? And Melania didn't miss a beat. She just started walking up the escalator. And so there were people that were like, this was sabotage. UN needs to be investigated. Somebody needs to be arrested, right? But then he made it up the escalator. /stairs. And he went to speak to the UN. Went to speech for the whole of the UN. He's standing here, UN over there. And as soon as he goes to start, the teleprompter broke. We know the teleprompter broke because he told us. As soon as he walked up, he told us, teleprompter broke. First the escalator, teleprompter broke. Nothing here work. Nothing. No, teleprompter. And it's like, look, if you're delivering a speech and it's been, you know, uploaded to the teleprompter, then teleprompter breaks, all right, like, that is something to be annoyed or caught off guard about. But I'm sitting there watching like, why do you care that the teleprompter, you're not gonna read it, like you're not. Every speech is off the dome. Every speech you can tell every speech he's over here freestyling every time. Why do you even have a speechwriter? You know the president's speechwriter right now gotta be the easiest job in the world. You just over here typing up chapters from Great Expectations, knowing he's not gonna read it. Knowing he's just gonna go, you know what I mean? He goes off of vibes. What do you care that the teleprompter's broke? You weren't gonna look at it. You might have read the first couple sentences and then been like, you know what? I'm gonna speak from the heart. And so the teleprompter broke it, you know? And so he's like, I guess I'll just have to. Which was also wild because the speech was printed out in front of him. But he was like, no, you want me to turn pages? No. Then proceeds to, give this address to the UN, and it depending on who you talk to, depending on whose opinion you're listening to, it did not go fantastic. Because the energy of the speech was like the normal energy. It was like rally energy, like talking to his base or something. But this is the UN. They don't live here. Like they're not. Some of the stuff they don't care about. Like you talking to the UN. Everyone's here. He's over here like I inherited a mess and we fixed it and like years ago we were down in the dumps and now we're the hottest country in the world. He keeps saying we're the hottest country in the world and I don't know what that means. I feel like even the UN was like, so what? Climate change? What does he mean the hottest? This is also wild because like you talking to other countries right now. Why are you dunking on them right now? Then dude's over here. I ended like 7 wars. And it's just funny because like everybody he talking about is there. So now some of these countries look at each other across the desk like, I don't know. I didn't even, what did I say? Nah, it was incredible. And then there was a weird thing. I think it was Brazil. He was talking about the leader of Brazil and how, like, first of all, this dude also tariffing everybody. So then he was talking about how he doesn't do deals with people he doesn't like, but then he had a good handshake with the leader of Brazil, so maybe they could work something out. Even Brazil had to be like, yo, I don't know. I just saw him in the hallway. Out here trying to be cordial. I don't even know if this is good. Was this good? No, it's phenomenal performance. Truly, I've not seen anything like it. Just over here. I'm sure if you were at the UN, just sitting there, you just sitting there quietly listening, looking over at other countries. There's some countries that had just be chuckling. Like countries that aren't in the mix, you know what I mean? Like if you're not like a key member of BRICS or you're not, you know what I mean? Like if you're not like in the news in that way, you just come, you enjoy the show. Like I imagine maybe Zimbabwe might have been cracking up. They'd be like, that's your friend. That's your friend. But that wasn't the only incredible performance. That wasn't the only press conference. because they held a press conference because they found it. They found it. They nailed it down. They found the cause. That's what they said. No, gathered everybody together, got the press conference going on. Looked like it was in the Oval Office. Yeah. And they were going to talk about the causes that they had found, the root cause of autism. This is what they said. And so, they walk in and you had Dr. Oz. Dr. Osmosis himself. Dr. Ozymandias. Like, Dr. Oz is standing there. And why? How did this happen? If we are just going to start putting people from TV in real, government position, in real medical field, can we at least get somebody from, Grey's Anatomy or something? You know what I mean? If we are already not being serious, can we not be serious better? Who is checking for Dr. Oz besides Oprah? Who is... He's standing there, doesn't even really look that healthy himself. This man's advice so far has been actually insane. They've done interviews with him. He's spoken to the public. Like, what would you suggest for Americans? The man's out here. If you want to, if you don't, look. If you don't want to be sick, be healthy. I wish I was joking. I would I can barely take credit for that one. I changed 2 words. So you got Dr. Oz from TV on one side. And then you have y'all know who he is. And then you have RFK Jr. on the other side, looking odder than usual. If y'all saw it, you know what I'm talking about. RFK Jr. showed up. I don't know what's happening. Because it wasn't like a tan. He looked like a bruised blueberry. He looked wild, and nobody addressing it. Nobody saying anything. The president over here just trying to not use his peripheral vision. RFK Jr. is white. No, that is a white man. He's white. He's a white guy. But that's the first time I've ever seen a white guy and been like, he is colored. Like that. Yo, my man, what is happening? He just stand there like he's been holding his breath for 26 years. This is very bad. And then, I don't know who told him. I imagine it could have been somebody, higher up, but it could even just been an aide that told the president, okay, you're going to give this press conference, you're going to talk about links to autism, and what you need to do, this is very important, for legal, this is very important for a lot of reasons, what you need to do is say the name of the drug. Then you can go on and say the brand name. But you need to say the name of the drug because the drug is what we're saying is the link, not one particular brand. So there are other like store brands that are this drug. You need to say the drug. Say the drug. You have to say the drug. Okay? Say the drug. And I'm sure he attacked it with that regular, bravado. I'm gonna say it, whatever. Get out of here. Let me work. Let me get in the zone, all right? I got you in my ear. I got him over here being purple. Let me work. It goes up, starts the speech. It's rolling. It's rolling with it. And then he hit a more than 8-letter word. And then the commander-in-chief, leader of the free world, in real time, in front of us, the American public, technically the whole world, because the internet, our leader in front of the nation, at a press conference they called. Our leader in real time sounded it out. I try really hard. No matter who somebody is, no matter the background, no matter the situation, really treat people like equals, not like look at people a certain type of way. We all struggle. We all have our different strengths and weaknesses and everything. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it. If you are 80 and you haven't attacked a word before, maybe it's just not a word you ever going to get. Like if you... It's late. It's late for him to be sounding out new words. Because the word, he could see the word coming up. And sounded it out confidently too, just over here, and it's not like it was in the mic. You couldn't hear it into the mic, but you could tell Dr. Oz was standing there trying to do hard ventriloquism. Just... Dr. Oz was standing there like, just open your mouth, let me do it. Dr. Oz was fighting to just, you could see him. I said, Tom, I see Trump. See him, man. I I knew when he looked around, we were cooked. Like I knew it. When that man looked up from the paper, I was like, no, stay on it, stay on it. Stay with it, you almost got it. Acetaminophen, Tylenol, and like that. That is also wild too. Gave us the full, what is it, Porky Pig? Gave us the full Tylenol. And he was hitting those T's, that Tylenol, extra hard. He was getting his payback with those T's. Tylenol, don't take that Tylenol. When y'all see Tylenol, because it was rough. It was like you've been in third grade before. You remember when a teacher, I didn't even know this at the time, but it was basically when a teacher had like a hangover, and so then the teacher would just make y'all read the book to each other. At the time, I really thought it was about learning, and now that I'm grown enough to have friends that are teachers, I'm like, no, you had a bender. That's what this is. Don't try to put this off on the students. You know, you seeing double right now. And so it would be, your turn would be coming up. And you would do a thing. Somebody would be reading over here, and you start counting people and counting paragraphs. And then you read ahead a little bit so that when it's your time to read your paragraph, you're reading your paragraph all fast and everything. People can't even retain the information. Then, there'd always be that one kid. There'd be that one kid where it's like, when you get to his paragraph, that's gonna last till the end of class. So you literally count your paragraph till you have to read, and then you count paragraphs, and you like, the bell gonna ring here. Sometimes to be a kid, everybody learns differently. We all have different abilities, and you do your best to be as patient as possible. I remember, I had one kid in my class that we would do that, and then his paragraph be coming up, and as soon as his paragraph start, everybody's like, and then he would start, and he would be sounding it out, and then hit the word, and then sounding it out. Everybody learns at a different pace. Sounding it out, hit the word. Sound it out, hit the word. Sometimes he'd even go back, sound it out, hit the word, say the last 3 words together. He's learning. We're all learning. Everybody moves in their own time. But sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I was a kid too. I wasn't always patient. Sometimes he'd be sitting there and be like, and I'd be like, it's A. You already hit it. It's A. There's nothing left to do. It's A. It is A. You did it. High five. You did it. It's A. It's only A. And then you grow up and you mature and you realize that everybody's good at stuff. People aren't as good at stuff and everything. Because I'll tell you what, I could read, when I was a kid, I could read, very good at reading. My math wasn't great. So then when it came to math, it was me who was like a little bit behind all the time, especially when we got to like algebra. Because I could factor a little bit. I understood denominators and stuff like that. Like I felt like I was keeping up and everything. But when we hit algebra, all of a sudden the tables were turned. This is why you have to be as patient with people as you want them to be with you. Because I'm sitting there, and for the first time there's letters. There's letters in the math problem, but I'm sitting over here like, and then he was sitting there like, it's 4, it's 4, it's 4. Oh, and so, you know, he's over there. He went ahead and dunked on that acetaminophen and then went ahead and started saying Tylenol, started describing to the people things that were not on the paper in front of him. Which is why you definitely shouldn't be upset when the teleprompter doesn't work. You know is what you're gonna do. This man was just throwing out all types of wild claims. This dude was like, hey, look, the Amish, don't have any autism. And a couple times in this press conference, he would say something, then turn to somebody and be like, is that true? My man, no, it's all on the paper. They put it all on the paper. You had RFK Jr. turn from purple to red. Because then he just started going off on like vaccines in general. You know, and just started saying like, look, you know, it's too much. It's too much. And he's not the first person, he's not the only person to be saying that. It's too much at one time. You know, you got those beautiful babies and you shooting them up with 80 shots of liquid. The thing that stuck out to me about the liquid thing is that you could tell he wanted to say juice. You could tell he's like, they put too much juice in them babies. Nobody need all that vaccine juice. No, it was truly wild. And then it was over. I can't imagine what it must have been like to be on the board of Tylenol. If you're on the board of Tylenol watching this press conference, you over here probably on a whole roller coaster of emotions. Like, at first you'd be sweating because they had let it slip several times that this is basically what the topic was going to be and what was going to be said. It had been like, you know, pieced out, little flavor, little sprinkle here and there for the media all the way up until that press conference, right? But then, when they actually said it, I'm sure Tylenol was stressing when they said this is what the press conference was going to be about. This is what they were going to talk about. You work at Tylenol, you sitting there, edge of your seat. And then he goes to say the name of the drug, and you're probably like, this might not be that bad for us, honestly. He almost said a cinnamon. We might be in the clear here. All we gotta do is come out with a label, no cinnamon in our product. We'll be fine. And then he says your brand name. Then he says your brand name over and over again, and now you're like, that's not good. That one came out perfectly. And then he talks about the Amish, and you're like, I guess if people watch the whole thing, they'll be confused enough to not know if they should take it or not. Because my thing is, look, why have such an unforced error? You know what I mean? Go ahead. You already got Caroline Levitt talking to the media all the time. Get her out there to start the thing. Get her to say the name of the drug and then walk off. Then you can go and just go off your vibes and everything. You had two people on either side of you that probably say the name of the drug all the time. Well, don't let him, but let Dr. Oz say it. Let him earn his keep. No, he over here supposed to be a doctor. Got the shortest name I've ever seen. Because I do my best to be up on the news, but I don't always want to talk about, politics and stuff. Sometimes there's stuff that happens that has nothing to do with anything political, and it just warms your heart to see it. You'll see a news story that captivates you, and it doesn't take you into like any sort of polarized position, Like I saw this South Carolina teacher that got arrested for using fart spray on the students as a punishment. Look, I'm not a teacher. I come from like a family of teachers, people that work in education. And like kids have always and will always drive adults insane. It's like part of the bargain that we have. Is part of the truce, It's like y'all won't do a Lord of the Flies. Y'all just be bad in school. And we'll pay the bills. And like I can't imagine what it's like to teach, especially now. You have kids who genuinely, because of like lockdown and COVID and stuff like that, missed out on little pieces. You have adults now who missed out on like a full college experience. You also have little kids who missed out on having their friends over and being able to socialize at a very specific point in their life. So everybody's been like knocked off their kilter a little bit by COVID and by lockdown, not being able to just be with each other. That's just, a fact. And because of how school was going in that time, you have people who are really behind because they didn't have that special attention. You had to do school on Zoom with a bunch of other students, and maybe a kid needed help and they couldn't get it immediately, not in the way you can get it when you're present, I can't imagine what it would be like right now to be in school, sitting there trying to do my algebra like zzz, 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 zzz. And so then the kids come back to school and, some of them are excited to see their friends. Some of them are still trying to learn how to socialize. Some of them, maybe aren't as affected as others. But kids will be kids. Kids will be loud. They won't listen, all that stuff. And then what do you do if you're a teacher? You got teachers out here fighting for their lives just to try to teach you some English. You see videos of it all the time, teachers going through it because students don't want to listen, all this stuff. This is the person that's just trying to make sure you know how to spell. So one day, if you make it all the way to the White House and you have to address the nation, you won't be like, cinematosis. And so if you're a teacher, what do you do? Like my teachers used to yell. Teachers yell. It happens. Hey, stop! And you can tell. There's a certain yell, especially when you got like a male teacher. There's a certain yell that you can tell you broke him because his voice cracked. You know what I mean? Like if he's like, hey, hey, y'all, chill out, right? And he's had enough of it, and maybe you're the first period of the day. You know what I mean? Y'all being a little loud. Hey, listen up, right? Something happened at about 5th period and on, where if you really got him at his wits' end, he's like, hey! Came
even help you people. That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell when a teacher really at the edge, when they just start talking to the students like they are society. Like it's like you do your best, you know. You go to a state school to save money because you know you're not going to make it here, you know. You got a passion for Spanish, so you try to teach it to you knuckleheads. Just truly, like, you know, teacher ready to cry. Over here, you get that third shut up. Sometimes that third shut up doesn't have any bass behind it. It sounds a little bit, shut up! Leaning against the board. I don't know what to do. All right. And so what do? You know what I mean? Yelling doesn't work. You can't hit them. Somebody came up with a plan. Somebody was like, all right, y'all don't respect me? Okay, y'all don't respect me? You will respect this. Because I've read different reports. Some reports say he was like doing a prank or whatever. Some reports say he was like mad about whatever. But I'm telling you, he could have done it for any amount of reasons. Maybe this dude didn't take his job seriously. Maybe, you know, he was out here just trying to prank for fun. He's somehow like a teacher's assistant, whatever, and still hadn't like grown up. So then he's over here. Ooh, look at you, stinky. Ooh. Ooh, stink butt over here. Ooh. Maybe. But maybe he had enough. You can only take so many spitballs to the back of the neck before you snap. Maybe this dude came in one day and was like, all right, look, I hate that it's come to this. I really do. But please believe me, if you talk all the time or you never talked before, anybody can get it. All right? I'm not going to lose my voice this week because y'all want to learn. Anybody can get it. Anybody. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm begging y'all not to test me. As soon as somebody's talking to their friend, he's like, what? He must have been brandishing it. He must have been wielding it because apparently, like, from what I read, like 100 parents complained or something. This dude got arrested, and then I think they said like 2 students went to the hospital or something like that. And I'm sure you over there in interrogation tried to defend yourself. They should have thought about that asthma when they were doing all that talking, all right? How do we know it was a spray? What if it was that talking that caused the asthma attack? Over here, mouth moving 100 miles a minute. I'm trying to teach something. Listening is easy to breathe. Because I wonder how much he must have done it. You know what I mean? Was it just off of anything? Just one little noise? Huh? Or did he wait? Was he like writing on the board, letting the chatter sort of build? And then that's the thing. When you're a kid in class, you always think you're good if you're just not as loud as the loudest person. But that noise rises the entire level of the volume, because now if everybody's talking a little bit, somebody's going to get a little bit more confident, get a little louder. Everybody starts talking a little louder. And as long as they're not as loud as the loud one, now everybody's basically screaming just so they can hear themselves because they're all doing so much talking. And next thing you know, he whips around, hey! Y'all gonna learn today. Because even the school said that he did
$55,000 worth of damage. How? It must just be in the walls now.
Who here lives here, by the way? Who here lives in New York? All right. I am not from here. I moved here, and I grew up in Louisiana, which, you know, do y'all remember the first time that y'all had to hardcore ignore a person here? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're just like, I cannot engage with this individual. No good can come of it. Because I remember, I grew up in Louisiana, very like hospitable place, taught to be very polite. I moved here from Chicago, even more Midwest, nice and everything. So I moved to the city unprepared. I showed up making eye contact. I was over here smiling in people's face like, hey, how's it going? Just every day. It took me 3 weeks to ignore my first person, all right? That's too long. Living in New York is a boxing lesson you have to teach yourself. You know, just after a couple weeks, I was like, all right, tuck the chin, shoulders out, make a Philly shell. Stay ready. I'll never forget it. The first person that I ever had to ignore in New York, I was on the train, and this guy was asking me for change. And when he approached me, he had one ball out. That's a rough approach, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, one ball out, I don't even recognize it right away. Like that, as someone with balls, if I don't see the whole package, I'm like, that's alien. He walked up looking like a monster. I was like, I wish I had a gun right now. That's insane. I was so upset, and he walked out, so then I was looking at my phone, right? And the worst part is that I'm sitting down, he's standing up. So the ball is in my peripheral, all right? It's right there. There's no escaping. And it's just, he too close for me to look harder at my phone. It's like the top right of my vision is fucked right now, okay? And so I can't look away. There's no looking away. And he's talking, he's like, come on, man, I know you hear me, man. And then I'm just like, no, just ignore him and he'll go away. It just look at your phone harder and he'll move on, right? And then he starts getting upset. He's like, come on, I know you hear me, man. But the more upset he gets, the more animated he gets. And the more animated he gets, the more he's moving. So now the ball is bouncing. The ball is bouncing up and down. This man is dribbling in my face. And I'm just looking at my phone, and I'm just like, just ignore him. He'll go away. And this is the thing. I didn't cry. I did not cry. I just didn't not cry. Like, I did start to tear up eventually, and my vision got blurry. Because this is the thing. There's no science behind what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I saw when I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't want to see it. So it's not even like something I'm trying to relate. It just, every time he bounced, it felt like the ball got longer. And I was... That's just so like so then I'm tearing up, and then he still is getting madder and madder. He's like, hey, you can't just sit there. I'm a human being. You can't just ignore me, dog. And he's like bouncing around. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. He yelled at me for so many stops. I genuinely started to pray, and that's not a prayer you think you'll have to pray in a place that's not prison. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting there like, I don't know, I don't deserve this, Lord. I've been a good and faithful servant. All right, this is crazy right now. And then he was like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm done with this. And he goes to turn around, but he's still clearly upset. He's still very mad. And so then, even as he turns around, he's like, and another thing. And then the ball swung. And I was like, sir, you're going to need to kill one of us, all right? Unacceptable. It does feel weird. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but it feels like nothing is actually viral anymore. Like there's not a shared experience as much on the internet anymore. Like, you'll see something that interests you, and it has 2 million views, and then you go to talk to people about it, and no one has seen it. Isn't that crazy? Like, your internet is tailored so much to you, so deeply, that it's just your whole experience, which is what 2 million is a lot of views. That means either a lot of people watched it or some very passionate people watched it a lot of times. I'll tell you my favorite video because I'm sure you haven't seen it. It's only got 2 million views. So my favorite video this week is a white woman in it. Probably my favorite white woman of the week as well, because she walks in to this police station with a gun. Right? Already very good, right? Already gripping. So then she walks in with the gun, and it must be late because there's no cops around, right? But then there's this receptionist, like, desk and glass, and she just starts beating on the glass with the gun, just beating on the glass nonstop, okay? And then I guess a cop finally comes towards the glass, and she's like, bam, bam, right? And then he moves out of the way, and then she's just walking around, and she's got the gun. I should point something out. The whole time, the whole clip, she's holding the gun like this. Like, it's the wildest gun position I've ever seen. No wonder she didn't hit anybody, because it's just like this the whole time. And she's walking back and forth with the gun like this. Every once in a while, she's like, bam, bam. And then my favorite part is she sits down and crosses her legs, puts the gun down, pulls out what I think is a thermos, takes a couple glugs, puts it back down, gets up with the gun, bam, 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 and then, police tase her and tackle her, and it's all settled. Now, the reason that I'm so obsessed with this video is that there's no sound. So I don't know what she's yelling about. I don't know what any of this is about. I don't know what was said or anything. So then I had to, like, insert it for myself. The video has 2 million views, and I think I am 1.9 million of those views. I think I've not been able to stop watching, because this is my thing. White women are so helpful, especially to the police. So I feel like she just walked in and was like, hello? I found a gun. I found this gun outside, and is anyone here? Hello? Hello? I can't, I'm trying to return it. Is that my gun? And the cop walked up and she was like, bam! Oh no! Because he startled her and she had a gun, and just like a cop when he gets startled and he shoots. And so they're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God, this is so stressful. Oh my God, I love rosé. Anyway, does anyone want this gun? And then they tase her and they tackle her. And then even as they're picking her back up, she's like, it's not even my gun. You guys should be more responsible. No, I'm not kidding. Dude, yes. When your phones get out of jail, you need to watch this video. I'm not even kidding right now. If we could only put it up. It's genuinely insane. I'm so glad you looked it up right now, because some of y'all are looking at me like, a white woman would never walk into a police station with a gun. Yeah, no, I'm telling you exactly what happened. This is crazy. And she walks in, she's like, hello, bam, bam, bam. Thank you for looking it up. This is like, some of y'all just, wow. You looked me in my eye like, I know a lie when I hear one. I will, okay. You know what's actually crazy? I thought about this weekend. You know what I've never done at all in my life? I had to really think about it. Never once in my life have I Googled Jada Pinkett Smith. So why do I know so much? Why do any of us know so much? Isn't that crazy? I've never even Googled Jada and Will. I've never sought any of this information. I know so much about them, it feels like we're related. It's devastating. I don't know if y'all saw the most recent interview. She's given her 1,000th. And in it, she says that she says so many things. First of all, she said that she sold crack when she lived in Baltimore, which is like believable. That's a very entry-level job in Baltimore. That part I was like, and? But then she also said her and Will been separated for like 7 years. Which what? She also said that Tupac is her soulmate. It's like she's going out of her way to hurt Will's feelings now. This is really insane. Tupac is your soulmate. You've been married for decades. My soulmate's a guy from the 90s. And the more I think about it, and the more I listen to Jada talk, the more that I'm convinced that Tupac died to get away from her. Like, I feel like... Easily. They dated for a while, you know what I mean? And then he got a taste of what Will has lived with. And then he was in Vegas and he got into it with some dudes on some gang shit and stuff like that. And they shot at him and he thought about what life would be like with Jada. And so he just leaned into the bullet. She said they haven't been together. Her and Will have not been together since 2016, which does make the slap more confusing now. That's right, because like that, they haven't lived together since 2016. Now it feels less like you were defending your wife and more like you just wanted to hit Chris Rock. Like, turn that man to a tambourine for no reason. That's insane. It really is. Like, what? Not even defending your wife at this point. You were defending your neighbor, I guess. Haven't lived together since 2016. It also makes the entanglement more confusing now. Watching Will and Jada is just like the Black Inception. You know what I mean? It's just a nightmare and a nightmare and a nightmare. There's twists that nobody asked for. What? Entanglement. Because then, this is my thing. If they weren't together, why'd they have that whole talk acting like they were together? It made them look worse. Why did they do that? It made her look like a cheater and him look like a cuck, but then they weren't together. So what's the big deal now? I mean, the big deal is that she fucked her son's friend, which is... A lot of people don't know that. That was Jaden's friend. So Jaden over there waiting for play dates and stuff. Ain't nobody showing up like it's a Brazzers video. It's so chaotic. No, it's just very chaotic. And look, I want to be fair for a second. I do want to be fair. Everyone comes for Jada and everybody shits on Jada so hard. And I get it. It's easy because she won't stop talking. But like, some of this is on Will. We can all agree about some of this is genuinely on Will. People blame Jada for the slap. That's not her fault. That's a grown man. And he got up there and he slapped another grown man. You can't blame her for that. It's not like she used her powers. And people blame a lot of the marriage stuff on just Jada. Will is also married to Jada. You know what I mean? He could get a divorce if he wants to, but he doesn't want to. He does not want, and if you pay attention to the interviews, he said it. Divorce is not an option. He'd rather them live as single people and still be married than to get a divorce. Which is weird. It is weird. I understand. For a long time, they were the symbol of black love, especially in Hollywood, right? And that's a symbol that he carefully curated that maybe she didn't want to be a part of, but it's one of the reasons he can't let it go, because it's a failure that he will not accept, right? But to just live as two single people but still be married is weird. It's very odd. Who is it for? It's not for them. They're not together. It's not for us, because now she aired it out. Everybody knows. It's not for the kids, because they're already weird. So who is this for? And like, I mean, it must be rough. I do get it. I have empathy for both of them genuinely, because I think Will, you know, came on strong, wants to make it work and everything, and Jada was just not having it. And a part of me, you know, I'm wrapping up, but just a part of me, a part of me gets it. Because if it's not the life that she wanted, it shouldn't be the life she accepted. That's fair. You're an adult in the world and you make your own decisions and you need to live by them, right? But also to be fair to her, I don't have a gorgeous millionaire trying to fuck me and marry me. I don't know. It probably seems pretty hard to turn down. I'm not gonna lie. Like if Zendaya walked in here right now and y'all look like you're together, if she told you, bro, if she was like, I want to marry you and be with you for the rest of my life, you'd probably be like, look, I'm in a happy relationship and I found my happiness. I hope you find yours. I'm not saying it'd be easy to say to her. You'd probably say it after I do, but but y'all have been great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one.